Dodge Dakota brings you a startling new advancement. Doors, great big ones, on the driver's side and the passenger side, each with windows that go all the way down. So what's the big deal about two great big wide opening doors? Nothing, but four is a different story. Real truck, real doors. Dodge Dakota Quad Cab, different.
What's going on?
Hey.
Wow, this is nice. But I thought Stacy said if you bought new tools, she gets a new dining room set.
Yeah, she did.
So where are the table and chairs?
You're standing on them.
Fine woodworking tools from Rigid. Name proven by pros since 1923. Take our portable table saw. Made in the USA, its compact design makes it great anywhere. Rigid. Buy them at the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
Hi, I'm CBS 4's Ken Rosato. Many South Florida men and women are struggling to find stable jobs to support their families. But you can do something to help. If you have new or used business clothes in good condition that you'd like to donate, please call Neighbors for Neighbors at 305-597-4404. CBS 4's Neighbors for Neighbors and you. Together we're helping men and women in need dress for success.
Hits, hoops, holes in one. They're playing all March long in the award-winning sports section in the Sun Sentinel, the official newspaper of the Fan.
Come on over, baby. Whole lot of going on. Run over, baby. Baby, you can't go wrong. Hey, baby. Whole lot of going on. Play, baby, play. I'm gonna play, baby, play.
Play Lotto with 2 chances at big jackpots each week, every Wednesday and Saturday.
There's a whole lot of going on.
You're watching CBS 4 News at 5:30.
The owner of a burning house tries to take matters into his own hands, fighting a losing battle against a raging fire. You see right here, that electrical fire broke out early this morning inside the man's home. Elliot has more on the story.
Well, Jennifer, we all know the first thing you're supposed to do when fire breaks out in your home is get yourself and your family out of the house to safety. Well, a homeowner in California decided to stand his ground, and he's lucky he didn't lose his life because of it. The small house in Gardenia, California was engulfed in flames when a television photographer arrived on the scene and discovered someone was inside.
Is that your husband? There's time to get out of there. There's nothing he can do. The roof can come in. He's got to get out of there.
Frankie! Get the hose, put it out.
You got to get out of there.
Don't worry.
You can't get out. You got to get out. The roof can come in at any time.
Don't worry, I got a back door right here.
There's nothing you can do. You got to get out.
Don't worry about it. Wait till they come.
The man continued spraying the inside of the house with a garden hose. Obviously, it was no match for the raging fire, but the stubborn homeowner refused to leave.
Dozens of firefighters die every year from roofs caving in. You got to get out of there.
The homeowner finally got out when firefighters arrived. Hard to believe, firefighters had to force the guy out of the house. Luckily, though, he was not hurt.
Well, luckily, Craig Setzer, temperatures are not scorching. Oh,
we're going to do that in a moment, but right now, we want to take you to Elian Gonzalez's house in Little Havana. We are getting late word that there's activity going on there. And right there at the microphone is Manny Diaz. He is one of the family's attorneys. He was part of the group that was meeting. I understand right now he is getting ready to address the media. Let's listen in very briefly.
Un poco de descanso a la familia.
Okay,
y a
he is
nosotros los abogados que queremos empezar a trabajar en nuestra apelación. Muchas gracias.
Okay, there you have Manny Diaz is telling the folks there in Spanish, saying basically what we already heard outside the federal courthouse, that the negotiations will continue, that Elian Gonzalez's parole status will continue at least until Tuesday, and of course a lot of people out there wanting to know what happened there.
And still another issue people are contending with, not just Elian, weather.
We all want to know about the weather.
What's going on?
Well, what do you want to go on?
I want to have like 75 degree temperatures, no humidity.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, I got some airline tickets you can buy later because you're going to have to head north to get into that type of weather. Our weather is going to stay warm and humid as we head towards the weekend. Here's what's going on right now.
nothing on real-time radar, no precipitation, pretty quiet afternoon, unlike yesterday when we had those storms pop up. Here's the visible satellite loop through the day today. It's showing that we've seen very little in the way of thunderstorms. Up to the north, that's a different story, but down here in the central and southern portions of the state, southerly winds becoming southwesterly and just some fair weather afternoon cumulus clouds. Temperatures right now are warm across the southern portion of the state, mainly in the 80s. A little bit cooler or not as warm on the west coast. It's also fairly humid, but a little less humid than around midday when it was almost oppressive. Dew points now in the 60s, still fairly high on the west coast in the 70s. In terms of overall storm potential, this is a new looking map here. This is the storm fuel map where we look at if storms develop, how strong will they be based on what's going on in the atmosphere. Right now it's pretty high up along the panhandle and northern portions of the state where it's been rather severe weather-wise this afternoon. Over the next 24 hours through tomorrow afternoon, that instability or storm fuel sinks southward, so if thunderstorms develop tomorrow, some of those could be a little bit on the strong side. Here's the satellite time-lapse and the radar loop over the last 24 hours, 12 hours rather, in the northern portions of the state, and you can see the storms there in that high storm fuel area. Okay, here's our forecast for tonight. Looking pretty good. Fair skies and muggy. Stray showers possible this evening, but not very likely. A low near 74 tomorrow. More clouds and storms developing, breezy and humid. High near 88. Pollen counts showing overall pollens remaining high. Mold is moderate and taking us into the weekend. We're decreasing our chances for rain Saturday and Sunday with highs in the low 80s. Pretty nice weekend, and in that fact, a little lower humidity too. Back to you.
Yay.
We like that. Thank you, Craig. Well, if you think the amount of sex and violence on television is getting worse, a new study proves you are right. The Parents Television Council says today's sex on TV borders on pornography. It says sexual content is more than 3 times as frequent as it was 10 years ago, and the level of bad language is actually more than 5.5 times what it used to be. The study points to shows like Dawson's Creek and WWF SmackDown as bad examples.
Well, sexy Jimmy Smits is best known for his TV roles, but he is returning to the big screen to star on a new movie called Price of Glory. In tonight's escapade, Smits talks with CBS 4 entertainment reporter Jade Alexander about his role of a father raising 3 sons. Jade.
Jimmy Smits just loved his roles as Victor Cifuentes and Bobby Simone, but playing an ordinary guy facing the difficulties of raising children was the change of pace that Jimmy had been looking for.
The bell.
Playing a nurturing father in the movie Price of Glory is a role Jimmy Smits says he was immediately attracted to.
I like the fact that it was a character that was different than what especially television audiences are used to seeing me do. It's not this cop, lawyer, heroic kind of idealistic character that I've done before.
Smits' character Arturo Ortega wants a better life for his 3 sons. Once an aspiring boxer himself, Arturo is determined to train his boys to become the champion he never was.
What did you know about boxing before this film?
Not much.
Jimmy caught the acting bug back in high school. He traded in being a linebacker to memorizing lines in the drama club.
How many people called you a wimp?
That's not all they call.
Jimmy is a Puerto Rican Brooklynite too humble to admit that he helped pave the way to the current Latin crossover explosion.
We're part of America. We're excelling because we're talented all over the place.
And what does a Brooklynite do when he runs into a fellow Brooklynite living in South Florida?
You stop, you have a conversation, you talk about Coney Island, you talk about the bridge, you talk about all that stuff. Brooklynites have that.
He lives in Los Angeles, his heart's in New York, and it looks like Miami is going to be a part of his life as well.
I'm involved in a nightclub venture in Los Angeles, and we're thinking about maybe coming out here.
And his movie Price of Glory hits theaters tomorrow. Can I tell you? Nicest guy in the... We did the interview on the floor.
And he does a lot for the community, I'll tell you that.
Great guy.
How did you just stare into those bedroom eyes and just not drool?
How did I do the interview on the floor?
She's a professional, that's how.
I'm not in those situations.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Woo. All right. Still more to come on CBS 4 News at 5:30.
Calm down. The showdown between a South Florida woman and a used car dealership has consumer investigator Al Sunshine saying, shame on you. He'll explain when we come back.
You are about to experience the unsurpassed beauty of the world's most glorious music.
Introducing Opera's Golden Moments, a magnificent new collection featuring 40 of the most popular songs from opera. Here are some of the best-loved songs of all time. Even if you don't understand the language, the songs project magical images and powerful emotions. These are pieces so popular, many of them have been featured in movies and television. Songs that touch the heart. You'll enjoy almost 3 hours of brilliant performances by the biggest names and greatest voices of opera. Immerse yourself in feelings of warmth and serenity. So many of the world's most beloved artists. Here's how to order. Call toll-free now for Opera's Golden Moments. 3 cassettes, $24.98. 3 CDs, $29.98. Call now.
You're watching CBS 4 News at 5:30.
Angela Ray in the CBS 4 newsroom. Here's what we're working on for you at 6 o'clock. In the fight for Ellie and INS attorneys and Ellie and family lawyers have called it a day and say they'll continue talking next week. The Coast Guard to the rescue when a boat goes up in flames. We'll tell you what happened next. Then you're going to hear from the family of a young girl hurt on a ride at the Miami-Dade County Fair. Those stories and more when Steve and I will see you in a few minutes.
In consumer news, buying a car is one of the biggest problems facing consumers, making sure you get what you pay for.
Yeah, it's tough, but where do you turn when your deal turns into a dud? For one Broward consumer, the answer was, shame on you, reporter Al Sunshine. What happened?
Hey, Elliot, Jennifer, imagine paying big bucks for a car, insurance and a new license plate, and months go by before you get everything you paid for. Now think what it would be like if you couldn't even get a straight answer from your used car dealer. Tanisha Hope loves her new car, even though it's 5 years old. But what she doesn't like is the battle she's still fighting with her used car dealer, a fight going all the way back to last year. She still doesn't have the license plate she paid for almost 4 months ago.
These are the receipts for my temporary license plate. This is the day I bought it, December 4th.